Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, looking at today's lesson, we are going to be looking at different ways in which we can classify sedimentary rocks. We basically break it down into three subcategories. The first category is pretty obvious. It's something we talked about yesterday, and that's clastic sedimentary. So what does that mean? If we say that a sedimentary rock is clastic, what does that mean, Cole?
Made of other rocks.
Yeah, perfect. So it's made from other rocks. Well, I'm going to change that just slightly. And I'm going to say it's made from the debris of other rocks. So they're made up of a bunch of little tiny fragments. So take a look at the rocks that you guys have in your rock sets. Which of those do you guys think are classic sedimentary rocks? Okay, one of them should be really obvious. Conglomerate is one.
Oh wait, we're in the wrong section. We're just like
Which are the sedimentary rocks? So we said conglomerate, I would agree.
yeah, that's conglomerate.
Shale would be another. Was there any others in there? Yeah, breccia. And what's the last one? Sandstone. So pretty much 4 out of the 5 you guys have in your set are made from plastic. So most of our sedimentary rocks are going to be made from plastic materials. The next thing we're going to look at is chemical sedimentary rocks. And all a chemical sedimentary rock is basically a sedimentary rock formed by evaporation. What do we mean by evaporation?
There's a bunch of things chilling in this water, and then the water evaporating, and all of that stuff going to the bottom.
Perfect. Okay, that's a perfect example of that. And so a lot of these that we can think about, trying to make sure I get this right. How many of you guys have been to White Sands National Park? Have you ever been there before? It's out in New Mexico. It is this really beautiful, widespread area full of white sand. No, not salt. Not a bad guess though. But no, it's not salt. It's actually gypsum. And so what that tells us that at one point in time, there was a large inland sea in that region. And most of the rocks in that area contain a lot of gypsum. And as those rocks are eroded and weathered, that gypsum basically becomes the sand that makes up the entire region. So that's where that comes from. So that's an example of a chemical sedimentary rock. And then we have something like organic. Again, think about what that means to be organic. Made from things that are used to live, right? So, for example, that would be limestone. Very obvious. Anytime we have fossils, limestone, generally always be there together. Is limestone the only place you're ever going to be able to find fossils? Almost. But probably in between the two, I would say you're going to find most fossils either in limestone or in sandstone. Those are the two. One of the neat rocks that I like to have as a fossil is petrified wood. And with the right pieces, that petrified wood, you can actually still see the bark. That's no longer bark. It's actually turned to rock. In this particular piece, you can actually almost see the rings of the tree still inside the rock. Spread it all around. Spread it well. So yeah, so that's one of my favorite types of fossils to pass around is the petrified wood.